But first, our top stories. The city is ready to roll out its new Presto card for bus riders, but on a test drive, it was discovered there are still a few bugs to work out before its July 1st launch. Reporter Melissa Lamb is live in the newsroom with more on how the new system works. Melissa.
Well, Annette, the card looks like many other cards out there today and can be prepaid for all you could ride use or loaded with money on a need-be basis. Now, the card is supposed to be convenient and easy to use. You simply wave it in front of the greed reader at the entrance doors. But there is currently a glitch in the system that means you may have to tap at it a few times before it works. But once you're on, you have 90 minutes to transfer. The Presto card will replace all other cards and will be cheaper to use. The card will only cost $2.65 a ride, but the card itself will cost you $6. Now, we've been collecting your comments on the city's new Presto card, and here is what you've said. Michelle Gendron thinks, I think it's a horrible idea, just the fact that you can share it and there's no proof that it's yours if you lose it. But Marlene Tom wrote in saying, I think it's a good move forward. The ability to load your card online is a big plus. When you travel to other cities and use their public transit system, you really see how behind we are. And to help you get started, the city will be handing out 200,000 free cards in June. Annette?
All right, thanks for that. Melissa Lamb reporting live this morning on the new Presto card. Well, this is National Victims of Crime Awareness Week, a chance to talk about the programs and laws in place to help victims and their families.
Together, we can work to find the answers. Together, we can raise awareness about the needs that victims of crime have and make important changes that ensure.
Federal Public Safety Minister Vic Toews spoke at a luncheon at the Westin Hotel on this year's theme, Moving Forward. It also focused on changes made over the past 3 decades that allow victims to have a voice in the criminal justice and correction systems, and looks at the services available to help victims of crime rebuild their lives. As MPs return to Parliament Hill after a 2-week break, the NDP will be short a member. Thunder Bay MP Bruce Heyer broke ranks with the NDP on the recent gun registry vote, siding with the Tories to scrap the registry. In a letter to the House of Commons, Heyer criticized what he called mindless solidarity, saying members too often put party politics ahead of constituents. Heyer was left out of the NDP's shadow cabinet when it was announced last week. He left the NDP caucus to sit as an NDP. And pollsters predicted the finish would be close, but the Alberta election turned out to be anything but a tight race. The Progressive Conservatives defied the pundits and held off the rival Wild Rose Party to hold on to power in the election. Premier Alison Redford's PCs won a 12th consecutive majority, continuing the Tory dynasty that dates back to 1971. The PCs took hold or are leading in 61 ridings compared to 19 for the Wild Rose, 3 for the Liberals and 4 for the NDP. The scandal that rocked the presidential campaign of former Senator John Edwards is now before the courts. The former Democratic presidential candidate is accused of accepting illegal campaign contributions to pay his mistress's expenses and cover up the affair from his cancer-stricken wife. The defense says Edwards may have committed sins, but not crimes. If he's found guilty, he could face up to 30 years behind bars. And finally, some unusual guests showed up at a TV news station in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and made it quite difficult for the weathermen. 4 black bears decided to hang out on the outdoor set of the local news station just as the meteorologist was getting ready to deliver the forecast from that very same spot. The mama bear and her 3 cubs took him by surprise. He ran off and decided to give the viewers the forecast from inside the building.
What a wimp. Come on, it's just the bears.
Yeah.
What could happen?
You could do the forecast with a bear, couldn't you, with a black bear?
I could do it, and if something terrible happened, it would be huge ratings.